So this was a really fucking shitty episode of Raw. You got one good match, one good 10-minute match, and 2 hours and 50 minutes of pure grade A, grade F, depending on how you look at it. Bullshit. We start off now. I missed the first 15 minutes of this show, but then I got caught up with the recaps later on. I turn on my TV. Paul Heyman is hugging CM Punk. Oh, here we go. Here we go, folks. It's another hug it out. How many fucking times do we have to see fucking wrestlers hugging it out on TV? What is it? Their mission to get every single fucking wrestler on the roster to hug? This is fucking gay shit. There, I said it. I don't care how politically incorrect that sounds. You're being homophobic. It's fucking gay. Stop having them hug. This is fucking wrestling. There's enough gay jokes about wrestling. We don't need them having to, rub their penises over their tights against each other, always hugging it out and shit. I mean, come on. Then we get our first match of the night. It's Mark Henry and Khali. If Henry wins, he's in the chamber. I already thought he was in the chamber. So Henry beats him. Just a nothing match, really. It's over, before it even gets started, really. So Henry earns his way to the chamber, and apparently Khali is out now. They didn't even say that that's how it was going to work, but good, Khali's out. I'd rather have Mark Henry than Khali. Then Henry picks up Hornswoggle, slams him down. Good, for like 3 seconds there, it seemed like it wasn't PG for a moment. They didn't care that the kids got scared in the audience because that PG little fucking midget got squashed by Mark Henry. Mark Henry, at least, he's not a very good wrestler, but at least, he's a genuine tough guy. He comes off as tough. He's one of the only guys on the roster where they haven't had him do something goofy. Okay, so, and we're talking about a guy who apparently had sex with Mae Young in the past. And he's got more credibility than anybody really on the roster. So there you go. Then it's Jericho defeating Daniel Bryan in a really good match here. Like a 3-star match if I had to rate it. Good counters, the way Daniel Bryan countered the walls of Jericho. You could really see that, you're dealing with a brilliant technician here. I criticize WWE for how they use Daniel Bryan, but this was a good match here. This was a good showcase of his skills. Also, they put him in the chamber at least, so I really can't complain that much. He probably won't win it, but at least he's there. This just shows that, they need someone like Jericho at this point, because they are very, very thin on guys who know what the fuck they're doing in the ring. I mean, you got a lot of fucking just incompetence in there right now. Jericho comes back. He comes back. His first match on Raw is the best match they've had in fucking forever on Raw. Just, coming back one time and having one match. Now the next week he has another good match. Jericho coming back and having some great matches. This is exactly what they need. Just too bad everything else sucked. Then it's Team PG defeating 3MB, and this is seriously it's Team PG motherfucker. John Cena, Sheamus, Ryback. You got a fucking pedo who likes to talk about Star Wars and video games with little kids. You got a big roided up guy that sounds like Stevie from Malcolm in the Middle. You got Sheamus, a guy who was once a tough guy, but, now just makes lame jokes and smiles all the time. What a fucking goof. They put these guys together, and it's apparently an all-star team, but it really is you could tell that these guys are not real main eventers, just some guys shoved into a spot. These are all the wrestlers shoved down our throats, combined onto one team. It's really pathetic looking. It's just a bunch of fucking guys, and they're probably gonna beat the Shield at the pay-per-view because it's John Cena, it's Ryback, it's Sheamus, all guys that they want to protect and all that, so they're not gonna have them lose. I don't think it's a real fucking shame, because I think it would be kind of awesome to see 3 young guys go over these fucking just PG assholes. Just these guys are what they're three of the biggest reasons why the show sucks every week is because of these guys. Then it's Big Show comes out for a promo for an interview with Matt Striker. He just punches him. Then he stands in the middle of the ring huffing and puffing like he's the big bad wolf or something. Yeah, you know, like the big bad wolf, like a fucking cartoon character. I almost thought that steam was gonna come out of his ears. You know, when a cartoon character gets mad, you know, you hear that whistle and the steam comes out like a teapot. You know, like I expect them to do that because this Del Rio Big Show feud has been very cartoonish with paint, with noises, Big Show crying and everything. I mean, seriously, it's like something like Three Little Pigs or some shit like that. It really is like a big fucking cartoon feud. Kind of pathetic. You know, like I said, a guy who once picked up Stone Cold and threw him through a cage, you know, on his debut. Now he's reduced to being covered in paint, crying, huffing and puffing in the ring like a fucking moron. Then it's Dolph Ziggler, and he defeats Zack Ryder, which is good. You know, I'm okay with that. It's nice to see, you know, Swagger being taken seriously. He comes out with this guy called Zeb, and you know, he gets on the mic and he starts doing like some patriotic speech, and it's just this guy, I've seen him. He's Dutch Mandel. He's sort of like a legend supposedly, but nobody knew who the fuck he was, and everybody was just booing this segment pretty much. I mean, like, this is a pretty like low-end manager here. You know, they could have got anybody else for Swagger. You know, an old, you know, wrestler, bring somebody back. You know, maybe like an old MMA fighter, or you know, someone from like you know, at the NCAA, you know, tournaments or something, and bring him in to coach Swagger, you know, as a manager. But no, they don't do that. They bring in Zeb, somebody like, you know, like, who the fuck is he? You know, like, I know who he is. I've seen him before, but no one else knows who the fuck he is. I mean, my God, like, it's just, he looked like Jack Swagger went down to a local park and found himself a goddamn hobo. I mean, this guy with a curly mustache and everything, I don't get it. You know, it's just, it's kind of lame, kind of stupid. Much like everything else on this fucking show. Then it's Miz and Cody Rhodes for whatever reason. Interference by Antonio Cesaro. He keeps banging his head into the barricade, and that was actually kind of cool. I enjoyed that. It was a, you know, a little brief spot of, you know, they turned up the violence a little bit, but still, you know, it's like we've seen better. You know, I'm saying the best thing for a run-in is a steel chair shot to the head, but we're not gonna get that anymore. You know, it's just, you know, throw him in the barricade, whatever. You know, but I guess for the PG era, this was okay. Then it's, oh God, Team fucking morbidly obese PG motherfuckers. So you got another fucking tag team full of PG motherfuckers. It's Tensai and Brodus Clay versus Primo and Epico. You know, you have a tag team in Primo and Epico with a lot of potential, but instead they hold them back, and they're forced into comedy matches against losers like this. You know, Tensai, you had potential with this guy. A big monster, you know, same thing with Brodus Clay. Big monster, you know, weighing almost 400 pounds. Could crush any, like, human being that stands in front of him. Like, in real life, these guys could fucking crush people. They were bouncers. They were, you know, they're big dudes. Instead, they're fucking dancing around like morons. And the sad thing is, I didn't even mention this ever before, but Tensai has now reverted back to his hip-hop hippo gimmick that he had with Scotty 2 Hotty back in the day. They're going back to some old fucking gimmick that was sort of popular back in the day, and now they're bringing it back, except now it's way more shitty, and way more PG. It was a little bit funny back in the day, but this is just fucking ridiculous. You know, Tensai doing some stupid shovel dance, and the announcers are forced to laugh at it. Then it's Shield cutting a promo, and quite frankly, I thought this was a very boring promo. It really didn't do much for me. Then, to top it all off, the lights go out, and it's just, you know, Team PG, Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus beating up on the Shield. You know, really, like, you know, that's it. You know, Dean Ambrose, who's known for cutting promos, and he cut some great promos back in the Indies, back when he was in FCW. But this shit, it's not appealing. It's not really, you know, a captivating promo. It's not like on par with a Punk promo, or, you know, to be more specific, one of his past promos from Dean Ambrose himself. I mean, Seth Rollins shouldn't be allowed near the mic with his effeminate voice. Roman Reigns is just, you know, he sounds stupid, sounds half retarded. So yeah, not a good promo at all. I don't understand this. You know, if they just let, like, Ambrose break free and, you know, and just do promos the way how he does them, because this isn't a Dean Ambrose style promo, it could be pretty good. It could be captivating. But for some reason, they want to keep him on a script, on a PG script, and it's just fucking broken. Then it's Del Rio defeating Damien Sandow. You know, this is a guy, or they give him promo time, they invest a lot of time into Sandow, but then they treat him like a jobber. Del Rio beats him in like a minute. And I don't see the point why there's this whole pre-match promo and everything. We're not really even supposed to think that highly of Sandow. If he's just going to be a simple ham and egg jobber, just, you know, a nobody, a flash in the pan, why the fuck bother with him? Why devote all this time to his character if, you know, there's no possible way? That's why I understand why there's Damien Sandow fans out there. How can you get behind a guy who, you know, they don't even let him really showcase his skills in the ring? They don't let him do jack shit. They give him some time to cut some promos, which are just okay. You know, he has an interesting character. But it's really not much where you could really be a fan of his. So, just once again, just like recertifies the fact that the YWC is a bunch of phonies. I mean, he's a fucking jobber. There's not much here. You know, I would like to get, you know, be able to be a fan of somebody with, like, this cocky demeanor of Sandow's. You know, he has shown flashes of, you know, brilliance, but it's not enough to really, you know, say that I like him. Then we see Wade Barrett fighting with Bo Dallas backstage. You know, this is more of that really PG backstage. It's not violent at all. It's just wild fucking punches. Nothing at all that's that violent. Wade Barrett gets his ass kicked somehow by this, you know, this nobody. It's pretty unrealistic to see. It's just a fucking nobody that nobody's getting behind. He hasn't even really accumulated much of a reputation in the indies where people are going to know who he is. He's IRS's son, I know that, but, you know, no one else fucking knows that unless they go on Wikipedia and read it. And so then it's Wade Barrett, and he defeats Kofi Kingston in a boring-ass match. I have to beg WWE on this. Just fucking release Kofi Kingston. Put this motherfucker out of his misery. I fucking hate Kofi Kingston with a fucking passion. This man, he's just a fucking goofy motherfucker. Always smiling all the time. Just now he's just a jobber, and he's even more annoying. And I hate Wade Barrett too. So, you know, let's play the both sides of the aisle right here. I hate both of them. What? How about that shitty finish to this match also? This is how it ends. So I complained like a couple of weeks ago about when they do, you know, certain stuff backstage with beatdowns, they shift the camera away. Well, check this out. So he pulls the ring apron on top of Kofi Kingston. Now I know this is something that Fit Finlay did when they brought him to the WWE, but this was way worse. So he puts the apron on top of his head and then hits him with the elbow. And then that's it, the pin. I mean, that's the fucking finish. You couldn't even see the elbow make any contact. And it was so light. I mean, if anything, that would shelter him from the blow. Like putting the fucking apron on him. I mean, it was supposedly so he can't see. What is he doing? Playing a game of peekaboo with him? No, just fucking lame ass shit. Can't even get a decent finish worth of damn nowadays. Then when we get our main event, it's Cain defeating Ziggler. You know, it wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't that good either. Very, very, very basic style finish here. Ziggler gets distracted for a brief second. Choke slam. It's over. You know, it would have been interesting to have Ziggler in the chamber, but instead they put Cain there. A broken down has-been. You know, like, why the fuck does he need to be there? What does this do for his career? At this stage in the game, what the fuck does this do for Cain? What can be gained from this? He's not even putting on good matches anymore. He's not providing any entertainment. Now, I know a lot of the people on the YW says, oh, the anger management stuff is funny. You know, I'm talking about the fucking adults here, not the fucking 8-year-olds that find that shit hilarious. I'm talking about, you know, what would make for a good match, what would actually lead to a good pay-per-view, which they have no interest in putting on nowadays. So why put Cain in there when you know that Ziggler could deliver 3 times the performance and entertainment value? But once again, you know, illogicalness prevails here, and you got Cain in there. You know, they take out shit from it, making it better, and then they gotta slide some shit in there. Okay, so maybe he's better than, you know, fucking Kyle Lee, but still, it's, you know, fucking Cain, a fucking has-been Cain, a PG Cain, ain't gonna do shit for the Elimination Chamber. And then we get our last segment of the night. It's The Rock. And let me tell you guys something about what I thought about this promo. So earlier in the night, they talk about, you know, the stipulation for the CM Punk match. If The Rock gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the title back to CM Punk. Now, I don't know how they arrived at this stipulation. You know, Vince McMahon is doing Paul Heyman a favor, even though, you know, Paul Heyman's guy, Brock Lesnar, F5'd him. Somehow he's doing a favor for him, which doesn't make sense. You know, once again, it doesn't matter if the storyline makes sense. All, you know, if they want to get to some place, you know, if they want to do something, they're going to do it without it even making any sense. Really, you know, just devaluing any, you know, form of realism that they have, or, you know, good storytelling. So you got this stipulation here, and The Rock is supposed to comment on it. So what do you think he does? Instead, he tells a story about a fucking crackhead that he bought a car from. Ooh, The Rock is funny. The Rock is funny. You know, this story wouldn't have been funny if anybody else told it, but because it's The Rock, it's funny. I bought a car from a crackhead. A crackhead was sleeping in the back of my car. Retarded! Stupid! You'd like to claim that this is TV-14. No! This is still PG because it's fucking baby shit. Crackhead. You know, fucking, you know, I don't know where you went to school or anything like this, but fucking kids were making crackhead jokes back in 6th fucking grade. So this shit, I'll tell you right now, this shit is not mature. It's fucking childish. Immature, baby fucking bullshit. This is not what they used to do during the Attitude Era. This is not mature material. This is not, you know, The Rock that we've all come to know and love. This is a watered down PG Rock that is trying to be funny, but sure as hell is not. It's very lame. It's very stupid. It's very irrelevant. What the fuck does that fucking story have to do with the Royal Rumble and the fucking title match stipulation? What the fuck does that have to do with all the fucking tea and China fucking whatever? Whatever expression you want to use, didn't make any fucking sense at all. It's funny! And the announcers are laughing their fucking asses off like this is the greatest thing they ever heard. It, quite frankly, was one of the worst things I ever heard. In fact, it was sort of on par with the John Cena promo from a couple of weeks ago where he mentioned his fucking Xbox gamer tag. It was almost as bad as the Star Wars promo. Stop it! You're a hypocrite! You like to talk about Attitude Era. We're getting Attitude Era now, and you're bad-mouthing The Rock. The star of the Attitude Era. This ain't the same guy. This is like they're taking the guy but changing everything about him. He used to be cool. He used to say cool shit, funny shit. Now he's saying everything opposite. It's all lame. It's very nerdy shit. So I ain't gonna, fucking lie. It is on par with John Cena. John Cena's a PG motherfucker, and that's exactly what The Rock has become. So CM Punk comes out, and this doesn't really help matters much. It's just more of that, he still thinks he's champion and everything. So he comes in the ring. The Rock starts beating the shit out of him. Goes for the people's elbow. Paul Heyman grabs a leg. CM Punk finally gets to do something to The Rock and hits him with the GTS. Good. At least CM Punk got some offense on him, so he didn't have to look like a little bitch. For one fucking split second, they at least let CM Punk maintain or regain some of his credibility. Then he takes the title from The Rock and he goes. This is like a classic thing, stealing the title. They haven't done this in a while. It's okay. It really doesn't do much. They're obviously not going to have him like throw the belt off a bridge or anything. Like the old storylines when they used to take the belt. So, not really too sure how to react to this. It's nothing mind-blowing here. He took the belt! Oh my god! So this whole episode was pretty fucking shitty. Had a lot of fucking mindless fucking PG bullshit. A fucking horrible Rock promo. Just horrible promos up and down the fucking board here. You had fucking gay-ass hugging. And you had one good match. And that was it. And that ain't gonna save a fucking 3-hour show. Maybe if it was 2 hours, I might say it's alright. But no, it was more than 3 hours. Like 3 hours and fucking 15 minutes. That shit sucks. That sucks. A 10-minute match is not enough to save a fucking 3-hour fucking show. That's fucking mind-boggling. That out of all the fucking possible material for 3 hours of programming that most TV shows would kill to have, they could only put on one good fucking segment. No good promos. There was actually nothing else that was even decent on this show. Just that one good match, and that was it. Horrible fucking episode. In the Chamber, well, let's just say that I don't have high hopes for it because every single fucking pay-per-view like in the past 8 months has fucking sucked fucking dick. So there you go.